going to be learning about the rule of the dot. In your book before 3.11, there's a little blue box that says rhythm, and it explains what that is. It says adding a dot after a note increases that note's value by half of that original note's value. We're going to take a look at what that means. It's time to go to your next class. All right, we're here. Okay, so let's go ahead and take, for example, a dotted half note. We're going to cover up this dot, and how many beats does that note by itself get? That's a half note right there, because we're covering up that dot. It gets 2 beats. All right, so we're going to start there. It equals 2 beats. Now, our book says we're adding something, so we're going to put a little plus sign there. Now, a dot adds half of that original note's value. So what's half of a half note? What's half of 2? It's 1. And it adds, so 2 plus 1 is going to be 3. So a dotted half note will always get 3 beats. Time to go to your next class. Okay, a dotted half note will always get 3 beats. Now let's take a different example. We're going to erase that. You won't see this too much in your music, but we're going to use it as an example anyway, because all this is the same rule that we're going to apply to different notes. But we won't get to other notes, so you won't see this yet. All right, so we have a dotted whole note. All right, I'm going to change back colors to blue. We're going to cover up that dot. How many beats does a whole note get? It gets 4. Boom. So a dot adds half of that note's value. So adding a dot is going to add, what's half of 4? 2. So a dotted whole note is going to get 6 beats. 6 counts. Okay. You won't see that too much. All right, let's go back to our dotted half note. And that gets 3 counts, remember. Or 3 beats. Now, where might you see a dotted half note? Why might we have a dotted half note in our music? We can't use that if we're in 2/4 time because it's 3 beats. We could use it in 3/4 time to take up the full measure. And that's why we have dotted half notes. It's just an added note value that we can use. Okay, so a dotted half note will always get 3 beats. The rule of the dot, though, this, when you see that after any note, what it does is it adds half of that note's value. So when you see that, cover up that dot, think about how many beats that note gets. So in this case, it's 2 because it's a half note. And then we're adding half of 2. We're adding 2 plus 1, and that'll be 3 beats. All right, I hope that clears that up. And we're going to take a look at 3.11 and 12 in just 1 minute.